Hello, my friend, and welcome to Skidinsky, hosted by me, Johnny Seifert. This is a celebrity mental health podcast where I say it's okay to not be okay. And if you have the same mantra as me, whether you're watching or listening, leave a 5-star rating, share it with a friend, and let's keep spreading the word. It's okay to not be okay. Now, let me tell you about my guest today. My guest today is here for his first podcast interview since leaving the 2025 Love Island Villa to open up about his 3 days in the villa, where he was coupled up with Alima and his story beyond. So, without further ado, please welcome construction project manager turned reality star. It's Blu Chegini. Hello, Blu. How are
How
you
we doing?
doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Well, I heard you're doing very well. You've been in the papers already this week.
Yeah, you've seen, yeah.
Oh, I've seen it, mate. I've seen it. You
Things
look
spread
like you've been
around.
doing some working out at the moment.
Things spread around quite quickly.
So we're talking, and we'll talk about the mental health impact of this. So apparently you're dating Gabby Allen now. Is that true, false?
No, that's not true.
It's not true.
That's not true. I'm not so. Yeah, that's things have been spun around. Yeah, you say one thing and it gets taken out of proportion into something completely different.
And how have you mentally dealt with that this week of kind of going, look, I'm a construction manager. I've worked, I've been to university. Okay, I went on a TV show for a couple of days, and now suddenly everything's being written about me, whether it's true or false. I can't even control that narrative now.
No press is bad press. That's my thought of things. I mean, I'm taking it how it is. I think it's funny. Obviously, some people will take it and talk about it, which to me, it's not a bad thing, right? I mean, you're getting exposure at the end of the day. So yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, she'll be fine. I'll be fine. To be honest, I can see where this could lead in someone's mental health, and I think it's very important that we should take it in that sense because it could potentially ruin my experience, or it could affect me mentally, like as if I can't really share anything with anyone because it could get out, even though I didn't even explicitly say that I was dating Gabby. That's not something I've ever said, and something that I wouldn't do until it's like for sure. Do you know what I mean? It's still very it's very fresh. I mean, I obviously came out of a Love Island and went on to the after show, the After Sun show, and yeah, I shot my shot with Gabby. He's not going to shoot their shot with Gabby. It went well, and yeah, we spoke after the show, and that was that. We've had a little chat, but nothing too in detail, and
So you're not
we're
meeting,
like,
you're not going to be meeting up then. It was very much, it was of that moment of just talking, and then you've now gone back to your normal life.
I can't say.
So you are meeting up with her. Hmm. I mean, have you got,
But
do you want perhaps phone numbers for the exposure? How do you feel going on a date with her though, with someone who's done that whole experience and then you've come out of it? Do you feel like, the big thing you've got in common is Love Island, that as much as you're going on a date, it's just going to be all about comparing your Love Island experiences, kind of going on there and then what happens afterwards, versus the fact of just getting to actually know each other without the Love Island brand. Because although you went on Love Island, it was only for a few days. It's almost like now you're just going to be branded as a Love Island star, and that's all you've
yeah,
kind of got to you.
I don't think coming out of Love Island, going for another Love Islander is you're going to be speaking about Love Island, right? That's not how it is. You'd go and meet the person to see like who they really are, and to see what if there is anything there. Like if you were on Love Island, but in the real world without cameras, without anyone there. But
You're
yeah,
saying that Love
there's
Island has cameras all around. I thought they were all hidden away.
no, you see them everywhere. I can see that affecting people's mental health, and people take things out of proportion, and it does put pressure on men, on women. It does, and I mean we shouldn't overlook that.
No, we shouldn't. And I think, and this is you know, yes, exposure is good. And I know obviously you're building your brand at the moment, post Love Island, and exposure is great. But it's always that thing of as long as you know what's true, and as long as your friends, your family know what's true, and those that mean something to you, that's fine. The only opinions matter, the ones that actually
Of
you value
course,
anyway, not the random people who
exactly.
message
So
you.
so in my situation, I've got a great support around me. I've got a great family, a great friends, like a lot of supportive people around me, and you have to have that to be able to laugh at these things. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's not, there's some people that don't have that support. They don't have that network around them that will laugh at the things, and they might take it seriously, and then it might get into my head, and that's not the case at all. If I've got that support around me, we're all happy, and as long as we're happy, then it doesn't really matter. But yeah,
100%. Well, look, let's get away from that. Let's talk about you because I'm really interested about you, Blue. We never really got to see, but we saw this kind of cheeky chappy come on the show and we're like, we're going to learn so much. And then obviously we didn't. So I thought this is the perfect opportunity to get to know you. So
Yeah.
can we go back to your childhood? Because it's quite interesting that you grew up in Spain. You went to, is it IES La Cala de Mijas? So what was it like for you growing up in Spain?
So I was born in London. My parents had three of us in London, and when I was one, they decided to sell everything in the UK, move over to Spain, and start their own businesses there as foreigners, right? I mean, it wasn't very easy for them, but they wanted to go to Spain and give us a better lifestyle, a better upbringing, because London at the time was just a bit not as safe as it was now, yeah, still now it's still not safe. But we had that great lifestyle. They wanted to give us the best they could have, which they did. So I was out there for 17 years fully. So at the age of 17, I was obviously studying in Spanish school, primary school, then secondary school. So it was all in Spanish. And at the age of 17, I left Spain and I went to the UK. I studied in Kingston College. I got my business degree in Kingston College. And then once I finished that business degree as a BTEC, I went straight to Oxford Brookes University, where I did my 1 year foundation degree in the built environment. And then that led on to a 4 year degree in construction project management. But yeah, within them 17 years, obviously my parents they've had their ups, they've had their downs. Obviously, when they left to Spain, they were doing well, right? They sold everything here, they went there, and then as soon as they got their businesses in Spain, Spain had a massive crash, and it was never plain sailing. You go to Spain, you live this lavish lifestyle. It was never that. I've always been around like the lows. We've had the lows, we've had the highs, we've had the lows. It's been like that, and we're such a supportive family. We all work together. We all help in each other's business. It's constantly, and even when one of us is down, we're always bringing the other one up. We've always had that that strength in our family, and I think it's made us who we are. We're just such a close family. You know, there's a lot of people in my friendship group or like that see that and they kind of come into our life and we kind of bring them into our circle, you know, because they don't have that support. So yeah, we've had our highs, we've had our lows, but a lot of people see who we are now and they think I've had that for my whole life, and they think I'm someone maybe I'm not. So yeah, it's just I couldn't thank my parents enough for what they've done for me, for what they've done for my brothers, my friends, like my whole family.
And what about you in school when, as a English speaking guy, obviously you want to learn to talk Spanish, but did you feel that you were an outsider in school as an English person, or did you feel that your comrades, your amigas around you, like it didn't really matter that you were from England, you were in Spain, and that's all they were judging you on?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy growing up in Spain until I put my foot down, until me and my brothers put our foot down. We got, I wouldn't say bullied, but we got looked down as foreigners,
Mm.
and people didn't want to be around us. They didn't bully us, but they tried to bully us on certain occasions. We held our ground and we fought our ground. That didn't happen for very long. But once Spain started evolving a little bit more, people actually thought, actually, well, these foreigners are the ones that are bringing in the money. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't easy growing up in a Spanish school. It was also very, very hard. But again, my parents were determined that we went to a Spanish school. I've got a lot of friends that went to international schools in Spain, which they were obviously treated very well in international schools. In certain Spanish schools, you just get treated even by the teachers really badly. You get detention. You speak in English and you get thrown chalk, and it wasn't great. But at the same time, my parents wanted me to have. Obviously, when I speak Spanish and fluent Spanish, they wanted me to be able to speak Spanish and communicate as well as I do in English than I do in Spanish. I'm grateful because it wasn't hard in the sense that it was horrible, not at all. Because from a certain age, I was super like popular and had a lot of friends in the Spanish school. So obviously it took some time for me to get there, but once I was there, I was like, it was great. Obviously, coming out the other side, I speak fluent Spanish, and I've got loads of Spanish friends, and I've got loads of English friends because I could mix the English and the Spanish. So I'd go out and see all the kids in the international schools, and we'd go out with them, and then would go out with the Spanish guys, and yeah. So I had the best of both worlds, put it that way.
But then you come back here in 2017, like you say, you went to Kingston for
Yeah.
college, and you go, I'm not an international, but I am an international. So yes, I'm the same as everyone now. We're all English. I'm from London. You guys are all from around here as well. And then they're going, well, hold on, you're international because the certain things we would have done. So, for example, I don't let's say Love Island, for example, just because it's
Yeah.
easy. You might not be watching Love Island on ITV2 2 years prior because it was a different culture. You probably didn't have
Mhm.
ITV2 in Spain. So how did you adapt coming here where you had to speak English first, but also you had to see yourself as an English person that it's not we're having siesta now because it's the middle of the afternoon. We've not got big tapasses. We've not got paellas just sitting and waiting for us. We haven't got sangria waiting. It's beer, man. We're going to be men.
Yeah, I agree. That was very hard. Obviously, leaving. I left Spain by myself. Well, I left with my ex. I left with my ex, and I moved in with her and my brother at the age of 17. Obviously, leaving everything behind and going to the UK, London, even cooking, like cleaning, like all of that. I was like, whoa, what's this all about? But it was the start of my maturing point. It wasn't anything I was afraid of. I was excited for something new. I'm always pushing myself to do something better and challenging myself for better. There was a point where also my brother was in the UK, so I was a massive support to my brother because my brother left a year before me, and he was in the UK for a year before me. So he started Kingston College a year before I did, and me going there was a massive support for him mentally, right? Because he's there by himself and he didn't have anyone around him, which he didn't speak about until one day he spoke to me, and I was like, right, I've got to come to the UK, and I've got to be with you. Like, you're my brother, and I'm going to be there to support you. So literally for that reason, I moved to the UK, and I was like, I'm going to be there for my brother. I didn't care what I was leaving behind, even though I had the best of the best. I don't care. I'm going to go and be there for my brother and get my degree and then go to uni. I didn't even want to go to uni at the time. I was like, I'm not going to uni. But then that pushed me to do better. I didn't really mind. I think it was the best thing for me to do.
Although the one thing you left behind, which might, as you were getting older, come into a bit more use, is where your mum worked and her business might have helped you later on down the line. So, you're with me now.
Yeah.
So your mum has a certain type of business, doesn't she?
Yes. So my mum has owned a renowned sex shop in Spain for the past almost 20 years now. She moved over to Spain with entrepreneurial mind. She see there's an opportunity there for the sex industry, and she went straight in there and made a name for herself. And she's been doing amazing. The shop is called Boudoir Boutique Marbella, FYI.
Are we plugging that, right?
We've
So if you want your sexual needs, go over to Spain.
in front of the Hard Rock Hotel Marbella. There's Boudoir Boutique, the best shop in Spain.
Have you got any special offers at the moment?
Well, yeah, if you come in and mention me,
Yeah.
we'll give you a nice offer.
You know what you need to you know what you need to do? You need to have like a Blue stand where you go, if you want to have sex like Blue does, here's Blue's favourite
Hey,
products.
listen, I might make a mold and sell it in there. Who knows?
So can we see more of Blue in working in the sex shop rather than Blue being on OnlyFans then?
No, I wouldn't be working in the sex shop because that would just be you want people to feel comfortable. I think it's better if someone else does it. Let's put it that way.
But you're not saying no to OnlyFans.
No, I'm not just yeah. For now, I am. Yes.
Never say never. More things in the pipeline.
Never say never. Yes.
These are the two lines you need to know. Now you're getting into fame, mate. Most answers is a never say never, or there are things in the pipeline. Always two go through users.
Yeah.
So look, let's get to 2025. Earlier this year, you got the place on Love Island. Were you scouted or did you apply?
So I actually applied last year, and someone put me into contact with my current manager now. So I just got my application, and I I spoke to my manager currently and said, look, listen, this is my application. I sent it on to him, and like he put me forwards basically. They missed my application. Obviously, they've got hundreds of thousands of applications a year. He put my application through within like a month or something. I got a call. I was like, no way, this is not happening. But yeah, it's a crazy process which can affect a lot of people going through that massive process and then getting dumped very short, or not. Some people might not even get in the villa. You have to be mentally strong to be able to do that.
You obviously wanted the fame. You wanted to get on that show. Like you said, you've done the application first of all. You then get introduced to your manager for the next year. Why did you want to go on Love Island? What did you think it would actually bring you?
So I've got a 9 to 5 job and it's quite intense. Obviously, construction project management is very intense, and it doesn't give me a lot of. It's anyone that's got a 9 to 5 job. It's not easy trying to find someone and trying to date someone. Often, like how many times a week would you have to see someone to actually properly know them for a certain amount of time? It's quite a long time, and it's yeah, it's not easy, especially nowadays. You do go on one date and then you go on 2 dates and then maybe none of you are feeling it. You try again like maybe a month later and it's just a whole process of nothing, right? Just dates after not getting anywhere. Maybe sleeping with each other and then that's it. But then you're just going to carry on sleeping and you actually want to find a girlfriend. So that was my thought behind it. I want if I could have 2 months in the sun, finding in a villa with a bunch of girls trying to find my missus, that's perfect. Obviously, you spend 24 hours each like together for a maximum of 2 months, and you can actually get to know someone. In nowadays, it takes you what you got 1 hour with a girl, maybe on a date, maybe two. There's only so much you can do. Say, you don't really get the feel of the person so quickly. And so that was my thought behind it. I was willing to do that. And another summer in Spain, yeah.
Be like, guys, I can show you around. I'll show you how to sunbathe in Spain.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know the area. I know it's Marbella. It's fine. I know. So then you get into holding, and for those that don't understand holding, it's where you go pre getting into the villa for like a week or two before. How did you find that? Because you have a chaperone and you don't
Mhm.
really have much to do.
Shout out to my man Max. He was the best. I honestly had such a laugh with him. They basically they choose the chaperone that they think is fitting for you. So really, like on their behalf is amazing, right? You got to find someone that may or may not connect with you, or that may connect with you rather. And we had a week of creating videos, eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You wake up in the morning, go for breakfast at the buffet, go by the pool. You make some TikTok videos. You do some commercial stuff. Basically, they've always got things lined up, and by that point, you've got lunch. Go for lunch, eat, go to the beach. You're in Spain. It's basically on holiday. It's like nothing that some people may have not enjoyed it because they're just with their chaperone. But me and Max got on like a house on fire, and we loved it. Like we couldn't fault it at all. I wanted to stay more in there before I went in.
So then you get to that day, that launch episode, and you're looking good, you're feeling good. It's been building up for this really for 2 years since you first put the application in.
Yeah.
What was your mental mindset like? Like you said, you wanted to go in and find love. You wanted to be able to have that intimacy. You wanted to go in and have those conversations. When you're standing in the wings, ready to come through, what was going through your brain at that time?
Leading up for this whole process, maybe you find out a month before you're going in. I'm thinking, I'm too chill. Like, when is it going to kick in? Maybe it's going to kick in once I get to holding because you're going to be with someone that you don't know and you've got a week to kind of think about so much stuff. And mate, I got to holding and I was like, maybe when I'm just about to walk in, I'll get some nerves and I'm going to get stressed out. Nothing. I was so calm and it's cool, calm and collected. I got to the villa and they're like, right, well, so I get out of the taxi, out the car, and they're like, right, we'll walk it into the villa and we're just going to do some filming. I'm like, all right, no problem. So I carry on walking. Bear in mind, I've just left my chaperone, didn't even say goodbye to him. All right, just walk through the doors, take a right. As you take a right, take another left, and wait by the doors. Like, all right, okay, no worries. Walk in, and they're like, okay, On the count of three, you're going to walk out and you're going to walk in front of all the girls and say hello to Maya and this and that. I was like, all right, no problem. I didn't realize the show was going to start as soon as I walked out them doors. I was like, what the hell? So I walk out the doors and I'm like, oh God, we're actually starting. But that's when it all kicked in. But I was still super calm. I mean, you can see in the video when I'm walking out, I'm super chill. You're right, Maya. Like all the girls are beautiful, and no, it was great. And then that was all super fun. The weird part about it is you're all in the same group. You're in the same boat. Everyone there is going through the same thing you are, and that's what I kept telling myself in the back of my brain. Everyone here is basically in the same boat. We're all here to have fun. But then yeah, on the first day is a little bit awkward because you kind of you don't know what you're feeling, you don't know how to react, and you don't really know what to say or just to like what do we do now? Do you know what I mean? Like what? But then once you get in motion, you get what's going on, and then it's like you're making friends. You're just trying to get to know each other, and yeah, it was great. Obviously, I had a little bit of a bad start, mainly because in my master interview, I mentioned that I had no type and I was just looking for, I liked big boobs, big bum, and naturally pretty. Obviously, coming out of the villa, I've had a lot of bad press on because I said that, and then I told a girl that she was not my type. So I got a lot of backlash for that. But if she's not my type, she's not my type. People are calling me racist, and I'm not racist. I've had, like I was telling to you before, I've had the growing up in another country and being called like foreigner all the time. So I know how that feels, and I'm not once racist. I'm half Persian. I'm half Italian. Like I've got a super cultured family. There's not one bit of racist bone in my body, and so obviously I see these. It's sad to see, but at the same time, like that's not who I am. People around me not that know that's not who I am, and yeah, I'm just thankful that on the brighter side, I've had a lot more positives than I have negative. The negatives are so minor that it's fine.
Do you feel like you need to keep over apologizing for that though, even though you know you've done nothing wrong, but you feel like you've got to overcompensate now?
No, I don't think I have to apologize because I haven't done anything wrong. I did apologize to the girl, obviously, because I felt bad in this situation. I walked in there, I was like, all of you girls are beautiful. And then on mine, I was like, well, you specifically, you're coupled up with Alima. But that's obviously, I wanted to go in there and I wanted to compliment other girls. I had word diarrhea, word vomit. I was just like, you're overwhelmed and you're standing there in front of a load of girls and next to Maya, and you're like, you just blabbed something. And I said, we had a lot of conversations, me and Alima, and we were completely fine. She didn't. She said I wasn't her type. I said she wasn't my type, and people take what they want, right? And that's
100%. And
and that's
obviously, now you've come out of the villa, have you got a WhatsApp group with Melisha and Sophie and everyone else who's left so far?
no, we don't have a WhatsApp group. No,
Why not?
I don't know.
I think you need to make one.
Yeah, maybe.
So
Yeah.
how are you dealing with it now that you've come on the other side? 'Cause you're only in there for a couple of days, and then obviously you get dumped from the island where you've not been. Like I've seen more of your personality in this interview
Yeah.
than I did on the show, and obviously it's edited and it's 45 minutes, blah 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 blah. How are you dealing with that experience when it's so short, but for you it was so definitive to what you were looking for and what you were hoping for?
Well, this is the whole reason of me wanting to expand, like show who I am on my social media. That's why I'm pushing my social media. I want people are coming to me and saying, "Why don't we see this side on the villa?" Because you've only got a certain amount of time in an episode to show to show who you are, and there's so much going on. I may be doing something, or I may be talking to one girl, but if there's drama going on behind me, they're going to be focused on that drama. They're not going to be focused on me pulling a girl for a chat because there's drama going on there. Obviously, I went in. I was true to myself. I was how I am now, but obviously you're on camera, so it's a completely different new environment. You're trying to be comfortable. You're trying to understand what's going on and how to be. A lot of the times, I was overthinking what I was doing, um, and I probably shouldn't have. Obviously, me going in there now, if I was to get a call back, call me. I'm going back. Call me.
Have you asked to go to Castle Moore?
I haven't asked, but I'm hoping
Now you will.
yeah, I'm hoping they'll give me a call back. Obviously, I was overthinking the whole situation. Like I was pulling girls, yes, and I was overthinking that. And looking back on it, I was like a little bit hesitant of what I was saying, and I should have been more as who I am, like me talking to you now.
Hmm.
That's for sure. There's no doubt about that. But obviously, it's all new, and there's a lot that goes on in your head before you can be comfortable. And I was observing. I go into a place, I observe, I get comfortable, and then that's it. Like, I'm chilling. But I didn't get that time. Unfortunately, I didn't get the time to showcase who I was, and that's why I'm trying to show the people who I am, because a lot of people do want to see that, and I've got so much positive feedback for the little short clips that I've had of me. I've had a lot of good feedback, and for that I'm happy.
Good. Well, your Instagram and your TikTok are amazing, so everyone needs to get following you on there. And talking of observations, what were we thinking of Harry and Helena, and also Meghan, Tommy, and Connor in that situation? Because I know that you didn't have any drama, and you can observe, but God, there's a lot of drama going on in that side of the villa at the moment.
Yeah, I wish I was there to be able to get involved in that. Stir the pot a little bit more, mate. Yeah, there's one word for it, and it's tasty, mate.
Do you think who's going to last out of those couples? Do you actually think Harry and Helena are going to go on this? Are they going to be our winners? That they're going on
I
this
think they're going
journey
to
of
be
up
our
and down?
winners. I think they're going to be our winners.
And what's going to happen with Tommy, Meghan, and Connor?
I think Megan's always fancied Connor. Even with when I was in there, she wanted to kiss Tommy. So when she kissed Tommy the first time was just before like a coupling up or something, and she made sure that she kissed Tommy. She was like, I have to go and kiss Tommy. And then she kissed Tommy, but she just kissed him when I just after I had a chat with her, and she was like proper like chilling. But she did have her eyes right on Connor. But Connor was a bit hesitant because of Tommy, because Tommy wanted to obviously get to know, and he didn't want to disrespect Tommy at all, which is completely fair enough. Now I think he's seen there's a gap, there's an opportunity, and he's gone in and he's gone in with both hands, and he's taken Megan from Tommy. That's for sure. I feel so bad for Tommy. I love Tommy. Tommy's like a little brother to me. It's just a shame to see him. He's fallen quite hard, and yeah, I'm hoping he comes out the other side with Emily because they look good together.
Yeah, I agree. They're like a cute little young couple.
Yeah, yeah.
And what's your future? Are you going to go back to your job now? Are you just going to see how the land lies now and just focus on your socials? Where's your head at now?
Well, I've got a lot of model agencies that have contacted me, so I'm meeting up with them. I'm gonna see what's on the table. I'm going to take it easy for now. I'm obviously trying to make connections and go to these events. Yeah, push for modeling, but let's. I'm just gonna see what happens. I'm gonna just play it out for now. Enjoy my time post Villa. Enjoy my time with my friends and my family. And yeah, let's just see where it goes. I'm not too sure what the future holds at the minute. I've got a few plans. Obviously, construction's one of them, but there's this summer that I need to focus on what's happening now. Stay involved with the whole Love Island situation. Be on top of be on top of it. Yeah, because a lot of people do want to get to know the insides of someone that's been in there and their opinions on what's going on right now. So I want to give the people what they want.
Oh, I love it. I love it. What a tease, my friend. A massive thank you to Blu Chegini. If you love Love Island like I do, there are so many episodes in the library, over 100 Love Islanders, telling you it's okay not to be okay, telling you about their mental health journey. So do go and check them out on YouTube or where you're listening to your podcast. On social media, I'm at Johnny Seifert, at Skiddy Secure Podcast is where you can find me, on TikTok at Johnny Seifert 92. Where can people find you, Blue?
You'll find me at Blu Chegini on TikTok and on Instagram.
Amazing. Blue, I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much for watching or listening. I'm Johnny Seifert. Until next time, thank you
Thank you,
and
Johnny.
goodbye.